Welcome back to the deep dive. We often talk about the AI agent store and the really interesting tools you can find there.
Yeah, tools tackling all sorts of, well, everyday problems.
Exactly.
Mm.
And today we're diving into one that hits close to home for a lot of people, I think. Managing invoices and receipts.
Definitely. It's such a tedious task, isn't it? That constant data entry, losing track of things. We looked into an AI agent called GetInvoice that aims to solve exactly that.
Okay, GetInvoice. So what's the core function? What's it supposed to, take off your plate?
Well, its main job is automating the collection part, getting those invoices, those receipts from your emails.
Pre-mails, right? That makes sense.
And also from web portals. The info we saw mentioned over 20 different ones it can connect to.
Over 20. Wow. Okay, so it connects to these places. Then what? How does it actually get the information off the invoice?
It uses OCR, optical character recognition.
Ah, okay. So it reads the document.
Yeah, essentially, it reads the invoice image, pulls out the key details, the vendor, the amount, dates, all that stuff.
Which means no more typing it all in yourself.
Exactly. That's the big sell, I think.
Yeah.
Eliminating that manual data entry grind.
That is huge.
Yeah.
And I think I saw something about accounting software. Does it link up with that?
It does, yeah. Once it extracts the data, it can forward that information straight into your accounting software.
Okay, so it smooths out the whole workflow then. Less chance of typos, too, I bet.
Precisely. Fewer errors, saves time. It just makes the whole financial record-keeping process much more, well, efficient.
What about physical receipts, though? The ones you get from coffee shops or whatever.
They seem to have thought of that. There's a Telegram bot integration.
A Telegram bot. How does that work?
You just snap a photo of the receipt with your phone, send it to the bot, and GetInvoice processes it, adds it to your records.
That's actually really clever. Good for tracking expenses when you're out and about.
Yeah, definitely useful for that on-the-go stuff.
And what if you need, a big batch of invoices, say for reporting or taxes?
It supports bulk downloading, so you can just grab everything you need in one go. Super handy for accountants or, finance teams doing analysis.
Speaking of accountants, who is this really aimed at? The sources mentioned specific professions, right?
Yeah, it listed accountants, small business owners, naturally.
Yeah.
Freelancers, too. E-commerce managers and finance teams were also on the list.
So quite a broad range of people who likely deal with a lot of this paperwork.
Exactly. If you're in one of those roles, this is probably speaking your language.
Now, you mentioned automation, but it's not completely hands-off, is it? There was a number. 73% autonomy.
Right, 73%. So it automates a lot of the collection, the OCR data extraction. That's the heavy lifting.
The other 27%?
That's the human oversight part. You still need to do the initial setup, obviously. Connect your accounts.
Makes sense.
And you need to handle any exceptions, like maybe an invoice format it doesn't quite recognize or something unusual. And things like bank reconciliation, that still needs a person involved.
Okay, so it significantly reduces the work, but doesn't totally eliminate the need for human checks and balances. It's important to set that expectation.
Absolutely. It's about augmenting, making things way easier, not complete replacement.
Got it. And how do people access it? What's the cost situation?
It's a freemium model, so likely a free basic version, maybe with limits, and then paid tiers for more features or volume.
Premium, okay. And the tech itself, is it open source?
No, the information said it's closed source.
Right. And which industries does this seem most relevant for?
Well, the obvious ones were listed: finance, e-commerce, accounting, and sort of broader business automation.
Okay, so pretty focused on the business and financial side of things.
Yeah, definitely.
And just to recap the key functions quickly, we've got invoice automation, receipt management, that OCR extraction.
The email and web portal connections, the Telegram bot for receipts, bulk downloading. It covers the main pain points.
It really seems to target those tedious parts of handling financial documents.
Yeah, it's designed to free you up from that repetitive work. Think about the mental space that could open up.
So summing it up, GetInvoice looks like a solid way to cut down massively on the manual effort for invoices and receipts using automation and OCR.
That's the gist of it, which leads to the real question for anyone listening.
Go on.
How much time, how much, effort could automating all that invoice chasing and data entry free up for you? What else could you be focusing on?
That's a really good question to ponder. If this sounds interesting and you want to learn more, check it out over at aiagentstore.ai.
Definitely worth a look if invoices are a headache for you.
Great stuff. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.